What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, so then that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I hope everyone had a safe holiday. Point to the blank to the period. I hope everyone achieves what it is that they are setting out to do this year. I manifest, I touch and agree, I confirm, I affirm, and by all means, I hope whatever it is that you earn, by all means, it is more than well deserved. Alright? However you take that is however you take it. But needless to say, mine was peaceful. It was way more peaceful than Thanksgiving. So, yes, very, very happy about that. And then your favorite pet child has a self-cleaning bathroom now. So, hands-free is the way to be. Thank God, because I'm trying to tell you, it won't working. Let me stop. Anyway, welcome to my new subscribers. Welcome to our new subscribers. And welcome back for all of our subscribers that have been here since, I don't know, A1, day 1, B2, day 2, C3, day 3. Whatever it is that you are, I'm just glad that I am able to see you with me. So, you already know the drill, Holyfield. Go ahead, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on. Get it and bring it close. Oh, let me show y'all my glass. Says, I don't want to adult today. Take it for what it is. Not for what you want it to be. I'm going to change this light a little bit. Anyway, I guess that's the best one. Get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on. Get it and bring it close. As you already seen or have, I'm pretty sure you've seen on my community wall that I did post that there is going to be a set schedule moving forward. I've been doing it all week. And I like to say I like the flow of it as long as I can stay ahead. With staying ahead, I know that there's certain things that I'm going to have to like block off time for. I'm going to have to invest time in. Stay with me. And I'm going to have to do my research to be able to produce the type of videos that I want to consistently have out throughout 2026. That is how you affirm what it is that you want to do. So that's what I did. I went ahead, I put a church announcement out letting it be known that Fridays will be the day that I post my my tea talks, so on and so forth. Because I also, if you didn't know, I have 2 other channels that I have. All right, so those are on the about page. But needless to say, Friday is the day because that's the day I feel more relieved because the week is over and I can just kind of like relax with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in the other 2 channels that I have, they're on that page. But yeah, I post on my other 2 channels twice a week, and I post on this one once, depending on how things work out. You never know, but for right now, that's what we got going on. I think that's the only new church announcement I think is at like top tier, most important. I think it is. Shout out to everyone over the holiday that shopped at Arts at 3634. Love, 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 love. I love that. Thank you so much. So if you're interested in that, that's down below. But outside of that, like I said, I hope you didn't already gather yourselves together. Where I'm at is 33 degrees, so dress warm. Dress warm, because this is not a bonfire. All right, this is not a bonfire. This is a superpower. We need to discuss the superpower. Now, I know I just broke down a whole back office meeting about what day I'm going to post, why I'm going to post on those days, the requirements that's going to, be needed of me to make that happen. And most importantly, to produce it, I need everything as a collective to make that possible, to make that happen. I've been doing it all week, so this is how I know I need to stay ahead of the curve. I need to make sure I invest time to be able to keep the quality that has brought me subscribers, stay true to it. You see a lot of people, they glam up and all that type of stuff, and that's cool. I remember, I know everyone remember my first initial set for TeaTalk, all right? And that was in my old environment, and now I have a different environment. So it's not so much a touch and go, it's just a thing of wherever I am comfortable is where I will be situated. Okay, a word is a word, as a word is a word. Okay, needless to say, I know what is required to be able to have a solid product, a solid reason, a solid whatever it is to produce and put out what I want to put out. So when we look at those things, if you were to imagine yourself in a room with four corners and you're in the middle, each corner, like there's a corner behind me, there's another corner on the other side, so on and so forth. Those are the points and places where the sheetrock, the wood, whatever you're building with, come together. All right? And how you put your cornerstones together is what's going to help solidify the understanding of your that you got shelter. Let's stick with the program. You got shelter, and it's sturdy. All right? So when we picture ourselves in a room, what will be the cornerstones for you to feel like you belong there? Bitch, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Now, the gag is, this not only goes for, you want to read the room to be able to know if you want to be there. Fuck being belonging. You want to be there, because guess what? You have a choice. You have a choice. No one is chosen to be pushed into a friend group of bullies. No one is pushed into being friends with an antagonizer. No one's pushing anybody into being in, society, group with society. These are things that we choose to elect ourselves to experience, to be a part of, to participate, to conjugate with them folk, with those people. So if you wanted to be in that room, what would be the cornerstones for that feeling? Whether it be peace of mind, whether it be good health, whether it be, you just being mindful, learning to be mindful, empathetic, or mine, which is my favorite, just being able to have a peace of mind and explore and experience bliss within the realm of how I want to live. Okay, there's a difference between self-validation and being validated by society. There's a difference between being successful and being popular. You feel me? So for each room, for each characteristic you're wanting to build, you're wanting to strengthen, you're wanting to strive to be better at, for, portray, whatever you name it, for 2026. We need to know what our cornerstones are for that to be able to happen. Now, it is a superpower to know your cornerstones because, like I just said, self-validation versus society validating you, two different outcomes. When you have self-validation, you don't need, require, expect, or put up a wanted sign for someone else to receive you. You claim, receive all of that for yourself. That's just like someone saying, I know your type. The fuck you do. I don't need you to validate who I am. You know who you are. You know who you are with and without folk. Interdependent and independently. Know who you are. Okay? Stop trying to build your life and stability around others and how they accept you. Build it around you. Because you got to deal with you. You got to be with you all the time. No matter what you do and the choices you put yourself in, participate in, and decide that you want to anticipate being a part of, all of that has different dimensions when it comes back. We gonna do a talk about that too. So when we know the superpower of our cornerstones, you want to be well-rounded. What does that mean? You're going to invest time in exploring different things and trying different things and accepting things that, maybe it's confusing. Maybe you'll learn different languages and maybe you'll travel. But to know all those things about that characteristic and how deep it is in you, we have to think about the cornerstones that make that feeling, that experience, and that part of peace and happiness possible. All right. No matter what it is, it can be college. It can be trying to be better in your career. It could be just trying to be a better person for you, let alone family, mentorship, etc. There's cornerstones to all of that. And just to prove my point, I looked up the definition. So, it's an important quality or feature on which a particular thing depends on or is based. Like I just said, what were used in your cornerstones to put your room together? I don't care if it's a tree house. Y'all know I love tree houses. I don't care if it's a tree house. I don't care if it's an actual condo. I don't care. But every home, every there's a room, regardless. All right. So, what was used? Sheetrock, duct tape. You tell me. Chewing gum, paper clips. But there was something that was able to help hold it together. So it kept you sheltered and it kept you validated and it kept you secure and it kept you confident. What are the cornerstones for you to be able to experience that? It's up to you to choose that. Because guess what? When you learn what your cornerstones are for you to be the best you, can't nobody come and try to say to you, "Oh, I know who you are, your type." None of that. And a lot of times people will actually sit here and say that just to scan, your meter of being gullible. Some people, are gullible in the way of they want acceptance. So those serpent-like comments, they easy candy. They easy pickings. I did a video on that. They easy pickings. They're the lowest hanging fruit. All right. And what happens is when you figure out, this person's in lack of thereof, they'll have a field day with your ass. Because guess what? You're not knowing what your cornerstones are of who you are. If it's strength, if it's resilience, if it's perseverance, if it's conviction, whatever it is, you have 4 corners in a room. What are those 4 characteristics that make it so it holds you together? I know my cat for sure. And let me tell you, the Lord has always been my president. I don't know who y'all got in office, but the Lord has always been my president. My Sky Daddy's always been my president. And I always know that when I put out, I get good back. There's going to be some residue or some things that I may have to deal with. However, when you heal correctly, you heal those things as well. So you need a strong backbone. I need strength, instead of it being another person for me to rely on. It's me wanting to make sure that all that I went through before and all the hard work I do, he, regardless if he's on 4 legs or 2, he doesn't have to go through and suffer for anything, because I made that sacrifice to lay on my stomach so he is able to walk across and be good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by, I had my little nigga's back. My baby, I got his back. Period. Even if I gotta take the lashings on the back, I will still allow him to crawl right over my front side to get to safer ground. I'm willing to sacrifice myself, And so when I know my strength and I know my determination, regardless if it's all outwardly known or only parts of it is shown, trust me when I tell you, being battle tested has kept me more centered and grounded, because within you learning to be battle tested, you got to figure out which battles are worth the war and which battles are worth you dealing with in order to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? Not all revolutions, massacres, and wars happen when both opponents were ready at the same time. There were some sneak attacks. So then this is why I say you got to know, and you need to accept that you got your back and your front. It's up to me. It's my choice. I participated in the idea of having him as my child. You know what I'm saying? So for what it is that it takes for him to be emotionally balanced with me and him be able to have his own cat life, yeah, I'm willing to take that risk. Because he's a cornerstone to why I push so hard. Period. Why I push so hard. So you have to think about these things because they influence your energy. They influence who comes into your space. And as to what likeliness and reason as to why you will keep them around. The nails in the wall, the sheetrock around the light switch doesn't get up and leave. These things stay. These things are stationary. These things are part of the stability. So when you think about stability, think about not a revolving door. Just know that they're a staple. So make sure they help you stay stable. You feel me? If you're going to be a staple, bitch, you need to make sure that you're able to help keep me stable. That don't mean pay my bills. That don't mean, going out your way and doing what you think, you assume what you saw on a bucket list, a wish list, on a grocery list, on a refrigerator, you name it. You need to be sure that that is something that you can stand on. And if it's going to be a staple, you need to be able to explain your reasoning. There's seasons, right? There's annual and there's biannual. So that doesn't mean that everybody stays for a long period of time. There's expiration dates on all of that. But if you have a home, if you have stability, if you have some type of structure, no matter what type of weather that come through, tornado, twister, hurricane, you name it, as long as the bones and the foundation of that house is good, you can rebuild, start over like it won't there. But you got to make sure the studs in the wall, the concrete, whatever your foundation is built on, you need to make sure whatever it is you're wanting to ground yourself and stand on business about, you need to make sure no matter what hell, Satan, hook or crook decides to bring your way, no matter if it rips the roof off, bitch, that foundation and them damn frames of each room, staircase and all, they need to stay in place. They need to stay put. Because if the wind can just take it on away, you ain't build yourself strong where you need to, or it's maybe not enough. So I'm just going to tell you how I hear it. Spirit says tighten up. I don't know if it's because of storm coming. I don't know if because he's just trying to prepare us because, you know, cliche-ly, it's a new year. But it's time to get up. It's time for you to figure out how you can put your walls back together. You know, we all go through shit. But you know what? There's some type of way we able to bring our walls back together and reinforce them. Sometimes we get all the way through a recovery. We get all the way through a journey. We get all the way through self-discovery. And then it comes to a point where it's just, you know, a sudden drop. But if you know how to swim and you realize that your body will always float, if you just breathe. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. You know, it's really all about you and your definition of stability. Okay? You can't tighten up where you don't give enough light to discover these things. So learn yourself. Each room in your house has some type of characteristic of you in each corner. Think about the pictures you put on your wall. There has to be a reason as to why you have it up there. It's pretty. It goes with the room. Good taste. It's an accomplishment. It's something you're proud of. All those can be cornerstones as to why you do something. Why you have someone around. Why you decide to invest in yourself. How you invest in yourself. Where that investment is going to go once you complete whatever the assignment is. It's time for you to think. And it's time for you to validate for yourself. And it's damn sure time for you to know who is in the room that you will allow around you. Not you allowing anyone to become something of in your orbit. If this is your world, you have every right to say who and what you want on your planets. No one should be able to come through the door with you knowing what's in there, and at least what's in there is what is required of others. There's no way. When you know yourself, there's no way. And even if so happens they slip by, child, window, attic, bathroom window, it don't matter. You'll figure out a way to get on. And you'll get on and you'll know that ain't no love lost. Ain't no love lost. It just won't be me who is. It's time up for that. So get to know you this year. I keep hitting, you know what? I'm going to clip you. Get to know you this year. And the best way for you to know you this year is to know who you are at the core. Who you are at the base. Who you are at the bottom of the frame, bitch. This is why, you know, my dad used to tell me when I was growing up, because oh my goodness, when it came to like engineering and everything, that was me, especially like with my dad and like carpentry. Oh my God, me and my dad. And my dad used to always, he always used to tell me, you know, if you were to ever buy a house, you know, and I already knew this because I seen how he used to take care of our home. You know, he would be the person to go in those crawl spaces and be able to fix and to make sure everything's good. Like, he did that. He did that. Okay, belly and elbows. He did that. And then when I got into real estate, I understood it even more. You know, it's better for you to have a house or some type of foundation. For one, from the real estate end of it, if something happens, some plumbing go wrong, I don't want them breaking and jackhammering my shit up. I'd rather you just go up underneath your house and fix it. Secondly, floods. It's just one of those things in my head. Y'all know I'm a big Walking Dead person. Floods. Bitch, I can't swim. I can float, but I can't swim. So that's that. 2, snow. What does snow do? Melt. What does it turn into? Water, rain, whatever you want to call it, liquid. And if your house is not built high enough, if it's not at the right elevation, and you're not properly prepared, now we got an issue in the house. So no, get your ass a crawl space. Get your ass a crawl space, because guess what? Nothing should be fucking with your foundation. Nothing, like, literally there should be a whole gap in between the foundation and you hearing any footsteps. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. So every time I would go and look at a house, I'd be like, nah, like, I need it on some, I need it up higher. I need it up higher. No. It's on a slab. It's not on a foundation. There's a difference. Okay, save yourself the headache, the worry, and all the agony of trying to fix, refix, and fix again, because it's not going to be the same. You know, so know who you are and know what your boundaries are before you allow someone to kind of make you one of them Drake mixtapes. You know, nothing was ever the same. So, yeah, cornerstones are very, very important. Just like a trigger. Would you go into a room knowing, like, you see and it's a red flag of multiple triggers? No. If you want to heal and heal properly and not go back to what broke you, no. You're going to close that door. Like, we're not doing that. But if you walk into a room and they're like, oh my God, hey, Mr. Real, so on and so forth, and everyone, like literally everyone I vibe with, is because they match my energy. They match the rhythm that I live life to, period. Everyone got their own lane. That's what makes them special. What makes them even better is that they are themselves. They are authentically themselves. I like my friends, boy, when I tell you, I've cultured, and I love it. Because that just goes to show you, like, everybody can get along as long as everybody knows who they are. When they don't know who they are, that's when they get jealous. That's when they get miserable, because you're a lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, bitch, the light is coming. Let me get my shades. No, you can leave the room. You don't gotta stick around. Be like a roach in the dark and go. It's cool. I'll spray some rain at the front door because you're not welcomed. At least you're not welcomed here, but you're probably welcome somewhere else. But you gotta know what you are willing to be around, respond to, not answer to, respond to. You, your own person. Again, choices. Respond to. It's all you, boo. That's all you. Clock it, eat it, whatever the hell they all say. Like one of my students saying 6'7". I don't know what the hell that means. I just be looking at her like, okay, Savage is 29 Savage. He's not 67. So I don't know what y'all saying. If y'all know, if you're a teacher, please let me know. Okay? I am allowing myself in the room to educate these kids with the cornerstone of knowing what this Generation Z and Generation A lingo is. Hook a sister up. Outside of that, y'all let me know down below. What are your cornerstones to being a good person? To trying to strive to live better, to have a better attitude? What are your cornerstones that you need to be able to do better? That's the best way I could put it, because you can be whoever you want to be. What is it going to take for you to become that? What are the cornerstones for that to even start to happen? Outside of that, I'm going to lurch. Not lunch, lurch. I hope everyone has a great start to their new year. Alright, keep the vibe, keep the consistency. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, visit my other channels down below if you're interested as to why I am posting twice a week on my other two channels and once here. You know, maybe if the love maybe if the love has an equilibrium, maybe I could come over here and produce twice a week. But as of right now, the attention goes where the attention is being asked. So outside of that, I hope you all have great peace of mind, happiness, empathy for the right people, and overall good health. And until next time, oh, let me back up real quick. I did say Fridays, right? Fridays. I think the time I'm going to drop my videos, see, wrestling come on at 8. I think I'm going to drop my videos around like maybe 8:15, 8:30. That's a sacrifice, because that's typically when it starts to kind of like get good. You know, little low-key climax in my wrestling. But I'll do it for y'all. That's the first step, right? So we'll see how this is reciprocated. If not, y'all bitches going back to 12 p.m. I'm just saying. But needless, lunchtime. Okay, but needless to say, I'm thinking maybe 8:15, 8:30-ish. That's typically about the time people try to wind down. So that's going to probably be around the time frame that my videos will drop on Fridays, between 8:15 and 8:30. So outside of that, like I was saying to you, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Check out my other channels. And of course, you know, try to be nice. Try to be a good person. All right? I said be a good person, not be a pushover. And just remember, you know, it doesn't discount you as to how people treat you. It discounts them. You feel me? I think I mentioned that in one of my other videos. A heifer go and talk in front of you about somebody that you know don't mean that you a bad person because you sitting back. You know what I'm saying? And you strategizing. It makes them look sucky because they're not being a real person. So I don't know who that's for, but just understand you're validated when you, if you, and you can walk away. All right? Outside of that, Happy New Year. And I will talk to y'all later.